practice here at Dover. The GOAT has set the fastest lap time of the session so far, 3/10 ahead of Chris Harvey there. But he's complaining about the front tires overheating, so as you can see, he's clearly made some adjustments to the setup there, trying to wrestle that car onto the straight there. And oh, that's Gerald Pepper just ramming into him and sending him spinning. Obviously, the GOAT's new setup is possibly a little bit too spin happy. And narrowly avoiding Jana Fogelman as well as Langestein and Johnson there. But yeah, he's definitely going to be, oh yeah. I think this guy's definitely gunning to go get Gerald Pepper again, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that. Let's see where Gerald Pepper is, running to the field again. There he is. The GOAT looks like he's going to be liable to get exact revenge soon. Where is he? Okay. I could just skip to the thing here, but you know something's gonna go down right here. I guess we're following Rocky Johnson, who set the 39th fastest lap, just ahead of Adalberto Franco. So yeah, and Johnson clearly not having a very good time here. That's Lego trying to join the track there, taking Johnson out. Flobo getting collected. I think Flobo got a little bit of a touch there for Lego sideways. Reggie Fogelman piles into his car. That's unfortunate, but could be. Oh dear, Matthew Burnett just piles. Chris Harvey gets taken out. Reggie Fogelman goes spinning all over the show. Oh dear, and meanwhile in the background, the GOAT catches up to Pepper, takes him out. Burnett's upside down. Oh dear, it's just an absolute mess here at the Monster Mile. Oh, that was fun. I mean, perhaps we could afford to take a look at that again, but Burnett's, yeah, okay. Adalberto Franco gets taken out. Not that it'll have any effect on the results this weekend, but yeah, Reggie Fogelman upside down. Then Matthew Burnett also gets sent upside down, thanks to Riley Spurley running into his car there, and he's yeah, sideways and upside down on the front stretch there. And yeah, Pepper and Smith both get taken out. Burnett's car gets sent into the twilight zone. But yeah, the GOAT able to exact revenge, and well, leaving a whole mess of corpses behind him, it looks like. And well, yeah, so overall quite a success for him. Now he's gonna circle back around. Oh dear, he reverses right into Burnett's car and into Cropley's way, driving through his crew, overshooting. Oh my God! It's gonna be a good race. I can see it right now. Hello everyone, it's Hanafuda and welcome back to Dover, Delaware. We are at Dover International Speedway, the Monster Mile, once again for the massive Banter NASCAR Amateur America 400. Really is a mouthful, but it's got America in the title. And here we are in Delaware, the first state, according to their really boring license plates and their state quarter as well. So, you know, it must be legit, unless it's actually Caesar Rodney. Yeah, no, Caesar Rodney's on there. There's a dye variety called a Spitting Horse, which is worth like hundreds of dollars for some reason. So yeah, basically these people who just want you to check your change and, you know, waste your time waste coin shops time, all the good stuff here. But anyways, we've got the GOAT on pole alongside Simon Özkan. We've got Chris Harvey and we completely skip past Mathis Wells. There we go. Mathis Wells in the second row. Good result for the Joe Gibbs cars in qualifying. We've got Wolf and Austin on the third row. Davis and Trickle in the fourth. Evans and Schonewald round out the starting top 10. Schonewald, of course, your Daytona 500 winner, and kind of looking in danger of getting eliminated here. Of course, I already know the results, and we'll run the numbers once again. But suffice it to say, I think all the pressure is going to end up being on Montero Salin, who starts at the back of the field today. And yeah, I mean, his chances of winning the title possibly went kaput a long time ago, but you know, it's still possible, and there's still a chance. Fat chance in hell, but you know how it is. We got Samaya and Jana Fogelman. We got Tyke and Hicks. We got Smith and Bracken, Allen, Thomas, Ebrahimi and Monaco, Langestein, Reggie Fogelman, Cropley, Jenkins, Spurley, Charlebois, Morgan, PK, Salin, Futlego, Whitlock, Sato, Burnett, Johnson, Franco, Flobo, Voiles, Pepper, and rounding out the field, White and Zane. Very disappointing qualifying performance from Gerald Pepper, who starts at the back of the field, where we'd seen him at the previous Dover race, in fact. In fact, he got lapped quite a number of times. Disappointing result as well for Daniel Voiles, who nearly won the first race at Dover, but ran out of fuel near the end, I suppose, and had to make it a very quick pit stop, thus gifting Eli Wolf the win. Wolf, of course, starts 5th on the third row today, so he's obviously going to be looking for a good result. Remains to be seen if Pepper and Voiles can make their way up the field. Monaco also doesn't have a very good starting position. None of this Bracken. I believe that Smith starts in front of both of them. And it's those three, the top three in the point standings, that all eyes are going to be on. The car is disappearing there for some reason. No idea what that's about. But yeah, Dover, the Monster Mile. I could possibly describe it as easy to drive, difficult to master. As mentioned, the problem I had at this racetrack was that coming out of the pits with cold tires, I was just sliding through the turns. Not sliding, but like just gliding through the turns. I don't know the best way to... It was so smooth and silky on cold tires, but once the tires got heated up, and I mean the right front especially went past 250 Fahrenheit, I started to suffer for grip, you know. It became more difficult to drive. So yeah, I guess that must be just a characteristic of Dover. I don't know, but we'll see how we get on then. Pace car is in the pits. Green flag is out. We are underway. That is an excellent start from the GOAT. Cannot say the same about Samit Özkan there. In fact, Chris Harvey might be having the GOAT just tearing through the field. He's going to leave them in the dust. Is the GOAT on for another domination job today? That's what it's looking like. But more importantly, Chris Harvey steps out in front of Samit Özkan. Eli Wolf, who started on the inside, also passed the Penske driver there. Max Davis, fellow Dodge driver, on the inside, followed closely by Lucas Evans. Max Davis and Evans, two of these drivers who have been consistently at the front of the field in recent races. Harvey's been doing pretty well lately as well. Wolf has been up and down. Of course, remember, he was your points leader at the very beginning of the season. Has fallen out of the top 10, but is on for another good result today, it looks like, as long as he can continue wheeling the car around up at the front with the rest of the big boys here. Lyle Austin did pretty well previous time around at New Hampshire, and well, there's Samaya. Didn't have nearly as good a result as his first time at New Hampshire. I think he did pretty well at the Dover race. Not sure. Maybe he actually crashed out. I forget. And with Schonewald up here making her name known. Patrick Smith so far ahead of Monaco and Bracken, who at present are looking like his primary rivals in the championship race here. He's yeah, running ahead of Joey Trickle and Mathis Wells here. Mathis Wells appears to have lost many positions from the start. Remember, he started 4th in this race, was all the way down to 12th. That's not a good result for him, but Eric Monaco now looking to take that position and begin gunning for Patrick Smith. Of course, with a better finish than Patrick Smith, Eric Monaco could easily continue to close that gap, which is, I think, under 100 points at this point. I genuinely forget because, I don't know, but I remember it being at about 300. Mathis Wells defending that position. Amy Hicks going to be a real threat as well. Here is Colin Cropley in 16th, Jana Fogelman in 17th, duking it out with Christian Bracken here. R.E. Tyke 19th, Reggie Fogelman 20th. Joe Allen's being scored in that position, so things definitely bunching up here at the back of the field. Monaco and Hicks continue to run side by side. Wells leaving Monaco in the distance, so yeah, not a good day for Monaco so far. Of course, he'll have support from his teammate Brackett, but meanwhile Smith is going to have a lot of time and patience. That whole string of words and sentences just petered off. So it goes. Where's the GOAT? Blimey, look at that. Into turn 3 just as Harvey exits turn 2. Wolf still runs third. Davis up to 4th past Silent Özkan. They're duking it out. Evans now with Austin. 2 Dodges and 2 Pontiacs. Fighting each other down the front stretch here. Shadowball still runs 9th. We've got the Jasper Motorsports cars. Trickle and Samaya running side by side. In 10th and 11th. 9th and 10th actually. So Shadowball up to 8th. Yeah, again, things really bunching up here. The scorers, the computers, I guess, are having a little bit of a difficult time keeping up with everything here, but looks like Davis has managed to beat Silent Özkan for 4th place here. Austin ahead of Evans now. Will he have the inside line? He does not, but yeah, the GOAT already rounding turns 3 and 4 again, just as Harvey's on the back stretch here. Into turn 3, the GOAT already out of turn 4 and onto the front stretch here. Harvey exiting turn 4, the GOAT crossing the line, and yeah, the GOAT just absolutely dominating this race. He's clearly found the groove, clearly started out those issues with the tires that he was faced with in practice in happy hour, and yeah, he's just leaving the field in the dust. We really are looking on for another domination job. Adalberto Franco runs last, clearly has the slowest car on the track right now, and the GOAT is within range of lapping him very soon, it looks like, if he continues his piss poor pace here. He has the slowest lap time, just ahead of Montero Salon. So obviously Salon not lapping very quickly either. He runs 37th. Things not looking very good. Pepper slowly but surely making his way through the field, stuck behind Johnson right now. But with Royal, it's a similar story. Both these drivers having some success with very little, very early on. But there are still 90 laps to go, of course. There's still plenty of time for them to cut through the field. It's all about being patient. Patience is a virtue that the GOAT clearly does not espouse. So, I mean, look at that fastest lap time. 22.086 compared to Eli Wolf's 22.662. Chris Harvey has a slightly slower fastest lap there, but in fact, Harvey seems to be lapping a bit slower than Eli Wolf, just barely, not too noticeably. But, of course, that does mean that we could see Wolf continue to close the gap and possibly make a move into second very soon. Remember, that's just for second, of course, because the GOAT has just left the field in the dust. Shadowball still runs 8th ahead of Joey Trickle. Samaya's lost 10th spot here to Patrick Smith, so Patrick Smith continuing to climb his way through the field. Look at Bracken up to 12th now, past Wells. Cropley in front of Monaco right now. Monaco able to defend from Hicks, of course. Here are the 2 Fogelmans, Jaina and Reggie, 17th and 18th. Tyke 19th, Langstein appears to be riding at the top 20. There we go. Yes, it does. He's passed Andy Thomas for that position. Ebrahimian 22nd, Allen 23rd, PK and White fighting for 24th. Morgan following in 26th. Behind them we have Jenkins, Burnett, Pepper jumping up the field here. Look at that. Voiles left in the dust, but Pepper's clearly made up about 6 positions while we weren't paying attention. Very good stuff from Gerald Pepper here, up into 29th from, I believe, 37th or 36th on the starting, or 38th actually. But yeah, here are Zane and Charlebois, Lego, Flobo, Whitlock, Voiles, Johnson, Spurley, Salon, and Sato. Last place is Adalberto Franco. He starts lap 16. The GOAT's about to start lap 17 here, so the GOAT within distance of the back markers. He will right on board there. Not a good line through turns 1 and 2 there, but you can see Franco in the distance, falling behind the rest of the field. The GOAT making some contact with that outside wall. This is an amazing view. It's just like a moment's silence as we ride on board for 1 lap with the GOAT. Massive amounts of wow. But tearing up that track, making it his own today. Miles the Monster doesn't stand a chance. Goat crosses the line. Harvey only in turn 3. So, the gap slowly but surely increasing here. Not completely comfortable for the Goat, but here he goes past Adalberto Franco, so that will be one extra obstacle in the paths of Harvey and Wolf, should they ever catch up for whatever reason. And who knows, the Goat might just bottle it here. Imagine that. Yeah. Run through your order here as we watch, I suppose, anything developing out here in the back of the field. Monaco's looking a bit quite aggressive here. He's past Colin Cropley. And Wells is next on his radar, then his teammate, Christian Bracken. Seems that Monaco has better acceleration out of turn 4. Here he goes, down the inside in turn 1, side by side with Mathis Wells. Overtakes of the week for Eric Monaco. Carried more speed, picked the right moments, and yep, that's him up into 13th place here. And Smith's still ahead, running 9th right now, ahead of Gil Samaya. Schadewald separates Samaya from Bracken and Monaco here, but yeah, it looks like Monaco's going to be able to hold the position and break away from Mathis Wells. Very good stuff there. Otherwise, things have single-filed out. The actions, yeah. Charlebois falling to 39th there. He was running around 30th or 31st, actually, previously, I believe. But here are Sal and Sato. Either Sato was on the cutoff or he's already been eliminated. I don't know, but again, Sato, you know, just a driver. I think it's time, ladies and gentlemen, for our occasional, every once in a while review of all the drivers, the GOATs. I don't know what I could say about the GOATs. Chris Harvey, yeah, he's there. He's been performing. Sometimes he gets caught up in crashes, but he's mostly been pretty clean and consistent, I think. And yeah, second's going to be good for him today. Eli Wolf started off the season pretty strongly, I think, but hasn't really had very much in terms of performances besides his win here. And well, looking on for 3rd place at Dover once again. Can't fault that at all. Max Davis, really one of the shining stars of this season, especially the latter half, of course, consistently up at the top of the field, running quite well. Finally got a race win. Right? I think. What did he win? I don't even remember. Was it Richmond? Whatever. Samet Özkan's very inconsistent, but when he's at the front of the field, it's all a good time. Who knows? Joey Trickle hasn't performed quite as well as teammate Gil Samaya, but definitely still a very strong driver who gets the most out of that Jasper Motorsports car. Lucas Evans, a driver who we constantly saw at the back of the field, really got his how do we put it? Really put himself in gear, I guess. Really got his business straightened out, and is clearly quite in tune with the car. He has had a string of 2nd place finishes, lots of top 5s, lots of top 10s, soaring to the top of the field. In fact, I believe he's in the top 10 of the points by now, and he'll certainly be still in there, around there, at the conclusion of this race if he can hold 7th. But yeah. Did Evans get 2 straight wins? Or was that Pepper? I think it was only 1 win for Evans, but yeah, Evans chasing that win for so long, finally got it at which race I forget because I have the worst memory. Lyle Austin, probably best remember Lyle Austin for being upside down at Daytona at the Pepsi 400, but then again, a number of drivers were upside down at Daytona at the Pepsi 400. So it's a badge of honor, but not too rare a badge of honor. Still, Lyle Austin definitely doing better at the tail end of the season. And who knows, he could even be a breakout contender for the top positions in the championship. We'll look at Gil Samaya here. Fell down to 4th in the standings, I believe, but Samaya has just been a quality driver this whole season. The past 10 races or so have been actually a bit mediocre for him. After New Hampshire, in fact, the first race at New Hampshire, that is. But he's still up there, still doing quite well. Patrick Smith, really been the star of the season, the talk of the town. Unfortunately, a few abysmal race performances, including some DNFs in previous races, has completely destroyed the gap that he had to Eric Monaco. Christian Bracken catching up slowly but surely as well. But yeah, Smith still getting in good performances consistently this season. I forget which race he won, but he is a race winner. But as we were talking about Patrick Smith lauding him here, Christian Bracken was able to get past him, and Ashley Schottevald looking good as well. The Dodge drivers in this mix here really working well together. Eric Monaco about to get past Patrick Smith as well, so that definitely shakes things up a little bit. Schottevald, your Daytona 500 winner, really fell off after winning Daytona. She did well at Talladega. I think she finished up pretty high at Pepsi 400 as well. Unless she crashed out, I definitely forget. I genuinely forget, but I don't know. Eric Monaco, one of the strongest performers early on in this season. Again, a bit inconsistent, but, you know, can't fault him too much. Mathis Wells, another one of these drivers who was doing very well at the beginning of the season, sort of fell off, but still occasionally runs up there with the big boys in the top 10, top 20, so good stuff there. Colin Cropley, a man who was blessed with so much bad luck in the first half of the season, finally started to get in some good race performances. Won the Pepsi 400. It was an amazing, amazing night for that driver there. And yeah, here's hoping to future success later on. Amy Hicks crashed out of both Daytona races. That's what I remember her for. But, you know, yeah, hasn't really been there, but there's not too much to complain about. Can't be too hard on these guys. Reggie Fogelman, similar story. Can't be too hard on him. The Hendricks cars really haven't been all that this season. Wolf and PK were working very well together early on, but PK just fell off very quickly there. Wolf's still at the top somewhere. But yeah, as for Reggie Fogelman, he's just kind of there. Arya Taiki really proved himself at the the short tracks. Although not without a decent string of performances elsewhere. In fact, he managed to steal away that Richmond win. Can't speak today. That Richmond win from Max Davis, the Pontiac Excitement 400. Now that those drivers being Pontiac drivers, but whatever. Arya Taiki, quality stuff. Joe Allen. Yeah, he was running at the back of the field most of the season. Occasionally you find him up top. It's quite a surprise, but yeah, I don't think he's going to do anything. Jana Fogelman. Again, we usually talk about Jana Fogelman and Dylan Ebrahimian in terms of their cars having problems or something, or getting crashed off. But yeah, Robert Yates Racing not having exactly the best season. Gerald Pepper. What can you say about Gerald Pepper? Yeah, the GOAT's laughing at him right now. You could say that. That is true, but Gerald Pepper had the worst car in the field for most of the season. Managed to get into a new machine. Struggled with it in the first few races. But yeah, he really came into his own. Really just, you know, yeah, very good stuff. His 2 wins were won under caution in wreck-filled races. And you could possibly consider both of those flukes, but there's no doubt that Gerald Pepper was really running up in the top 5, top 10 in a lot of these recent races. So yeah, he really proved himself a capable driver, just as long as he has a good car, of course. Matthew Burnett. Apparently I was pronouncing his name incorrectly most of the season, and I actually came to that conclusion when I asked my mom about the Carol Burnett show, and she said, it's Carol Burnett. Thanks, Mom. I knew she'd know about the Carol Burnett show. That's how old my mom is. No offense, but it'll be that way sometimes. Matthew Burnett. The most I could say about him is that, yeah, being in 21st place right now is sort of where we've seen him most of the season. I think he, you know, could possibly do some good runs here or there, but I don't know. Annie Thomas has been doing well recently. Sort of forgettable before now, but I don't know. She's been up there recently. I don't know. Harry Langestein did very well at the first Talladega race. Besides that, usually at the back of the field, but now running consistently up front. And yeah, I know I'm saying these things about drivers who are currently at the back of the field thus far, but yeah, you know how it is. Steve Morgan. What can I say about Steve Morgan? Apparently I have it out for this guy. I don't know. When it comes to GM Goodwrench Chevys, there can be only one. Brittany White has not had a good season. we'll leave it there. If she continues to perform, then good on her, but nope. Not been there. Daniel Voiles. Yeah, all the DEI cars have honestly been rather disappointing this season. Voiles almost won a race, remember. But yeah, just couldn't deliver. I think he's in the top 20 in the points somewhere, but I don't know. Bob and Flobo, he's just kind of been there. Decent driver. Wheels that car. Yeah. Dylan Abrahamian crashes a lot, as mentioned. I don't know. Estacio PK, again, he was doing pretty well early on in the season, but just hasn't been there. Taiki is another driver that he appears to run with very often, and he and Taiki have both been near each other in the points for about the whole season. So there's that. Leroy Jenkins, I mean, come on. This is not the aggressive dive bomber that we were promised, but I suppose it is the one we deserve. Leroy Jenkins, just a disappointment all season. Sorry, Eric Monaco, but the truth hurts. Riley Spurley. Riley Spurley was running decently for a while there. He's at the back of the field. Maybe he's just having a bad day. I don't know. Sabrina Futlego. He's been pretty forgettable. Sometimes I wonder if I'm actually saying Sabrina and not Sabrino. So I feel like I've been having to accentuate the O in recent races, but yeah. I don't know. Maybe his time will come. Mo Zane, like Anton and Charlebois, has been forgettable. Running RCR equipment, you'd think they'd do quite well, but that was a misplaced modifier. Running RCR equipment, these drivers are expected to be doing well, but just haven't been there. Reagan Whitlock. Yeah, Reagan Whitlock started on pole at the Daytona 500 and has just continued to shift positions ever since then. Sad. Rocky Johnson had some races up at the front, but yeah, just has not been her year. Montero Salin, much of the same, unfortunately. Antonin Charlebois, forgettable. As you can see, Max Davis is coming up across these drivers. Harvey and Wolf already passed him. Apparently Wolf got past Harvey, but we weren't paying attention because we were too busy roasting these people in the back. Agata Sato runs 39th. Another bad Hendricks car. And oh cracky, the GOAT lapping 7th place Lucas Evans. How about that? He's coming up on Joey Trickle now. It's a good thing we kept that little bar at the side there, but yeah, where's that up there to Franco? Franco, where is he? You can't escape us, Franco. I was pretty sure you were doing very well at Rockingham, but now you just have the slowest car in the field. I have no idea what that came from, other than the poetic nature of Franco appearing to suffer the same fate as K-Mod. You all saw that coming. The GOAT is past Joey Trickle, who runs 6th. Max Davis next. Oh, wait. Where's 5th? Samit Özkan. Samit Özkan was 5th. He lost 5th to Joey Trickle, but now the GOAT coming up on Max Davis. He is looking slowly but surely like he wants to lap the entire field. Max Davis, an excellent short track driver. Very good at the mile ovals, obviously, as well, but the GOAT is fast approaching. Hopefully Max Davis has brought his brown pants. The Intimidator is only very briefly in his rearview mirror down the back stretch here. He has gotten past, no problem at all. All that's left in the GOAT's way, Chris Harvey and Eli Wolf, who are currently lapping 36th place Rocky Johnson right now. I believe that means that Franco is 2 laps down, as are Sato, Charlebois, and Salin. And again, Johnson's going to be next there. Lap times. Tells everyone, Wolf into the pits. Wolf into the pits here, past the halfway point of this race. A splash of fuel is needed, but those tires are definitely going to be chewed up as well. And remember what happened to Daniel Voiles. Eli Wolf certainly will have learned from that little kerfuffle, that strategic blunder by Voiles. So yeah, the Wolf. Not to say the Wolf, I guess that makes sense. Taking 4 tires here. Wells and Thomas also into the pits. Jana Fogelman as well. PK. Jenkins. Wolf coming out right in front of Jenkins there. There could have been contact between those drivers there, but fortunately that was avoided. Harvey into the pits now. Davis as well. As are Özkan, Bracken, Monaco, Austin, Shadavold. Most of your front runners here. There are Samaya, Pepper, Allen, Reggie Fogelman, Burnett, Hicks, Futlego, White, In the background, Tyke and Morgan. Here's Voiles. There's Spurley, Zane, Johnson, Trickle, Ebrahimi, Evans into the pits. Yeah, there's Patrick Smith, Colin Cropley, Charlebois. In the background, we can see Whitlock and Sound, Flobo and Franco, Langestein. So most of the field into the pits. Again, for those tires and fuel. They're getting 4 tires, so it really is one of those races here. The GOAT ahead of Mathis Wells, scored as 25th right now. And things definitely looking quite complicated here. I believe that has the GOAT been able to get past Wolf? Who knows? GOAT comes into the pits. Lap 59, about to start lap 60. Again, he's lapped most of the field. So when he comes back out, hopefully he will still be in a very good position. Did not spend too many laps out on the track after Wolf began the first round of pit stops. Well, the only round of pit stops, obviously. So Wolf may have very well been able to make up some time to the GOAT. That remains to be seen. But yeah, the GOAT was possibly having, I suppose, the most difficult time catching Wolf and Harvey, who are still scored second and third right now. Things looking very complicated. That's a 15.1 second lap time, pit stop time, that is, for the GOAT. Very good stuff there. Getting passed by Burnett. There's Wolf. Wolf ahead. White's going to come out in front of the GOAT as well. The GOAT back onto the pits with fresh tires and enough fuel to make it to the end of the race. Wolf ahead there, and that's going to be the GOAT's new objective. Of course, he's going to have to warm up those tires, but as mentioned, it seemed that the cold tires at the beginning of the stint really suited the GOAT when it came to just wheeling his way around the racetrack as quickly as possible. Kind of saw it in that onboard lap that the GOAT was sort of struggling for grip through the turns. So hopefully his first few laps on these tires before they warm up entirely will really be able to put in the performance and catch up to Eli Wolf here, just ahead of Brittany White. There's the GOAT. He can see Wolf in the distance. The Wolf has scored us 20.36 seconds behind, but if these lap times continue to hang around under 23 seconds, then yeah, the GOAT is definitely going to be fast approaching here. 38 laps to go. Well past the halfway point of this race. The GOAT has led every single lap and has nearly lapped the entire field. As you can see, Chris Harvey ended up coming out behind the GOAT, and yeah, he's a long way behind as well. A long way behind Eli Wolf, that's for sure. Lots of lapped cars ahead of Harvey there, but yeah, the GOAT continuing to approach Wolf here. 27th place Brittany White separates the GOAT from Wolf. The Wolf. I don't know if that was what Eli Wolf was going for, but works out quite nicely, I guess. There's the GOAT, the Wolf, the Harvey, the Crop, the Max. There you go, the Max. Return of the Max. Yeah, you think Max Davis sharing a name with Max Verstappen would be completely, you know, smashing the field every single race. Might see that in the future, but hey, look, it's Franco again. Franco to be lapped for, I believe, the 3rd time today. Yep. Franco now runs 3 laps down. Ouch. Here's the GOAT running side by side with Wolf. Down the back stretch here. Who has the better acceleration? Wolf, actually. GOAT's going to send it into turn 3. Wolf now actually under pressure from Brittany White. How about that? She's running side by side. Ladies and gentlemen, the GOAT has lapped the whole field. We saw it in Las Vegas. We saw it in California, I think. Definitely Las Vegas. California, surely. Not Michigan, though. But he has lapped the entire field. He is toying with them out there today. Wow. Massive amounts of wow. There's Joe Allen. Hopefully the GOAT doesn't ram him out of the way. Ditto for Steve Morgan here. The GOAT clearly demonstrating who the superior GM Goodwrench Chevy driver is. Flying past Steve Morgan with ease. 23rd place and below, now at least 2 laps down. Guess we'll try to take a look at your order here. Eli Wolf runs second. A long way behind is Harvey in third. Max Davis runs fourth, ahead of Joey Trickle. Evans is sixth. Monaco seventh, so ahead of Patrick Smith here. Wells eighth, Bracken ninth, Özkan 10th, Smith 11th, Shadowell 12th, then Austin, Cropley, Thomas, Pepper, Flobo ahead of Jana Fogelman, Reggie Fogelman, and Langestein rounds out your top 20. Behind them are Samaya, Taiki, who's about to get lapped, Burnett, Morgan, Footlego, White, Allen, Franco's 3 laps down, of course, and running last. Voiles, Hicks, Zane, Ibrahimian, Spurley, Whitlock, PK, Jenkins, Johnson, Salin, Sato, then Charlebois. Yeah, Charlebois runs 39th. Peppered 16th there. Guess the man to really keep an eye on here is Patrick Smith. He presently runs behind both of the Evernham cars here. Monaco ahead of Bracken here. Monaco runs 7th, Bracken 9th. Smith down in 11th behind He's probably going to be the man to focus on here because, again, he is your points leader, and the 2 Evernham cars, Monaco and Bracken, his closest rivals in the battle so far. So remains to be seen how he gets to play. Well, this has been the complete opposite of the past 3 or 4 races. Instead of caution-filled wreck-fests, not even wreck-fests because they weren't nearly as violent as, say, Talladega or Daytona. It's been green. It's been green this whole race. Not a single caution. Not even any sign of a spin. Everybody giving each other a nice bit of room here. Nothing to complain about. Nice, crisp, clean race. Not the sort of thing you'd expect at the Monster Mile. But everybody seems quite in tune. Everybody seems to be doing just fine. Running their races as usual. Of course, Frank is running last, but whatever. To give him credit, he still drives that car better than most 9-year-olds. And once learned from an anime, even if you're the worst at something, you should still do it. Still try. And, you know, prove yourself. Keep trying. If anybody knows what anime that's from, then you're a weeb. And I'm not, by the way. "25 laps to go for Patrick Smith." That means there's only 24 for the GOAT, of course. Yeah, he was able to get past Simon Özkan. And Bracken actually was able to pass Mathis Wells. Oh, looking good. When it comes to the drivers at the top of the field, it seems as if they're looking at their finishing positions in this race. I think that Wolf is going to have second, barring, I don't know, say the GOAT running out of fuel, which would be an absolute disaster or shame, or even blowing his engine. Like, that could be a possibility as well. If he could blow it at Bristol, he could well blow it here. Harvey looks set on third there. Max Davis could have something to say about it. But, yeah, definitely going to be a top 5 for him. Joey Trickle rounding out your top 5 there, getting past Adalberto Franco of all people. But, yeah, there's a long gap between him and Lucas Evans, who runs 6th. Monaco 7th, Bracken 8th. Wells losing 9th to Patrick Smith. Patrick Smith now looking at the 2 Evernham cars. Going to ride on board here. Wells able to defend for now. He gives up the place. Good stuff from the Wood Brothers Ford. Patrick Smith's getting sent. Not Patrick Smith. S.p.A getting sent out of the way. That was a Murrayism if I ever saw one. But there we go. Finally, something to break up the action there. What happened to S.p.A there? That was the first exciting thing we've seen all day, I think. Besides the pissed-offs. But yeah, Bracken actually getting into her teammate, I think. What you saw, of course, of these guys coming up on lap traffic here. But yeah, I don't know. It's a bit hard to tell from this angle, but... And Monaco getting into S.p.A, sending him into the wall. And, well, that leaves the door wide open for Patrick Smith. It seems as if a gap between the three cars was very consistent for a while. But now it looks like Patrick Smith is catching up to the two Evernham cars. He has, of course, 15 laps to go, I suppose. 14, actually, because the GOAT's on lap 87. And you can see from the scoring board here, the GOAT has lapped Colin Cropley for the second time today, so only 13 cars left, one lap down, and the GOAT continuing to steam his way through the field surely. Meanwhile, Patrick Smith getting past Eric Monaco without much resistance. Overtakes of the week, I suppose. Brackett's up next on the docket there. Brackett trying to get past Whitlock. Jenkins ahead. Smith following behind Bracken here. Monaco trying to catch up. Will Smith have left him in the dust? That's what it's looking like. And again, lap 87. Of course, it's lap 88 and will soon be lap 89 for the GOAT. Whitlock steps out of the way. Monaco's back through. Patrick Smith running that inside line down the back stretch here. Jenkins ahead of Bracken there, not helping out his fellow Dodge driver. And that's Patrick Smith from 9th to 7th in the space of 3 laps or so. Patrick Smith ahead of the two Evernham Dodgers, his two rivals. Yeah, top 3 here represented almost in exact order there. Monaco's ahead of Bracken in the points. Bracken runs right behind Patrick Smith. Of course, leaves open the question, where is the GOAT? There he is, about to lap Sallin for the third time. How about that? The GOAT lapping cars 3 times this race, which gives you an indication of just how slow they are, just how mediocre of a day they're having. But I mean, think about this, 40 cars still left in the race, not even an engine failure, no crash, nothing of that sort, and 10 laps to go. And we could be looking on for, yeah, the first race in a long while to have all 40 starters finish. Remember how Dylan Ibrahimian didn't even start the Pepsi 400? His engine decided that it wasn't going to participate. That was unfortunate. Franco's about to get lapped 4 times. Franco's so slow that he's about to get lapped by S.p.A, who runs 35th. Really just not having a good day, Franco there. Still driving that car, still running, clearly still having a good time. Clearly must be his motivation for driving that car. 160 compared to the GOAT's 168. There he is behind Schottewald. Getting past much issue here. 7 laps to go. Where is Eli Wolf? Who knows? Quite a ways behind, isn't he? There he is. Wolf who runs 2nd. Harvey 3rd. Max Davis is caught up, so Max Davis could be looking at 3rd place here. Joey Trickle appears to be nowhere to be seen. Spurley and Zane ahead of him, and then a long distance to Max Davis then. Lucas Evans in 6th, looking at Trickle. Patrick Smith, of course, runs 7th. Bracket 8th and Monaco 9th, as mentioned. Wells runs out your time. What the hell? Check on Penny. Sure, everything is dope with Penny. Well, we're only about 5 laps to the end, but we're going to have to take a commercial break here, I guess.
What are you doing?
What?
You're eating M&Ms.
Yeah? So are you?
Well, I'm not an M&M. You don't eat your own kind, it's unnatural.
Here, give me that.
Ooh, I like crispy. Give me the bags. Oh, that's just disturbing.
We're back from commercial. rewinding a little bit to see the GOAT slamming into the outside wall there, down the front stretch, and there's damage to both sides of his car at this point. So clearly he was bumping and banging with some of these drivers as he's attempting to lap for the second time today. Here he goes past two Chip Ganassi cars, Schoenewald and Whitlock there. It's a sad day when Schoenewald's lapping your teammate, but yeah, that's how it goes. The GOAT flying into the top 10 there, past Özkan, past Wells, looking at Jenkins once again. Is that the third time? Yeah. Franco 4 laps down. How about that? Once again, the GOAT into the top 10. He's going to have 3 laps to go when he crosses the line. Smith still ahead of Bracken and Monaco. Again, this really looking like their finishing positions here. Trickle loses 5th spot to Lucas Evans. So much for that theory. And Max Davis is ahead of Chris Harvey. We missed it. Bummer. Let's see if we can go back and find out when it happened. Okay, cool. Okay. Going back to, I don't know, Reality. Great song, by the way. Okay, whatever. We can just skip here. We can say that's what we were looking at when we were on commercial. 2 to go for the GOAT. He's led every single lap. He has, he started on pole. He led every single lap. Never lost the lead at any point in this race. He has lapped the entire field and is looking at lapping drivers in the top 10 for the second time. White flag is out for the GOAT at Dover International Speedway. Absolutely scintillating performance. Can he beat Monica Bracken and Smith turn the line to put them 2 laps down? Well, no mistaking it. I mean, look at all the damage to that car. There was clearly some ramming and such that we were not privy to. That's the GOAT bumping Eric Monaco out of the way. Checkered flag waves. The GOAT wins the massive Banter NASCAR America Amateur 400. Amateur America. Yeah, I had one job. I got it wrong. Where is Eli Wolf? Did he pass by already? I don't even know. There he is. Eli Wolf finishes second. Max Davis third and Chris Harvey fourth. Rounding out your top 5 today. Who is it? Evans ahead of Trickle. See, Evans was about to... Yeah, Evans just behind Smith. Does that make sense? Evans was just behind the 2 Evernham cars. Does that make sense? Blimey. Huh? How'd that happen? Smith promoted to 5th there. Where's Monaco? There's kind of Jenkins in the pits there. Oh, okay, this is related to like some kerfuffle. This kerfuffle right here. People trying to get into the pits. That's not the big deal. But yeah, what happened to Monaco? Finished 7th. Did Monaco go into the pits? Not, it wouldn't have been him, but okay, no. No, Smith is 5th here. Someone in the pits? Oh, yeah, Evans. Evans was in the pits. Evans and Trickle, they ran out of fuel, I guess. They're not even scored in the top 10. Evans and Trickle were running out of fuel. Oh, what a bummer. That's them exiting pit road there as the GOAT is on his cooldown lap. Well, anyways, the GOAT was running out of fuel too, but we didn't mention that because whatever. I don't know. But anyways, as usual, the GOAT with some victory donuts and a Polish victory lap. Once again, as at Michigan, I think, running out of fuel. Alright, so that's cool. Hammer blow to Lucas Evans and Joey Trickle, who finished outside the top 20 because they had to pit for fuel. Oops. Obviously didn't get it right the first time around. The GOAT wins today. Led all 100 laps from pole position. Lapped the entire field. Eli Wolf, Max Davis, Chris Harvey, Patrick Smith, and Christian Bracken, the only 5 drivers to complete 99 laps today, Monica, Wells, Özkan, and Shadowall 2 laps down, round out your top 10. The rest of your top 20 are Austin, Flobo, Pepper, Cropley, Thomas, Reggie Fogelman, Burnett, Morgan, White, and Langestein. So yeah, Smith able to finish ahead of his 2 championship rivals today. Good stuff. Alright. Lego, Tankey, Allen, Samaya, Hicks, Voiles, Jana Fogelman, Zane, Spurley, Abrahamian, Evans, and Trickle all completed 98 laps today. Remember, Evans and Trickle were running 5th and 6th and ended up finishing 31 and 32nd because they were running out of fuel. Oops. Jenkins, Whitlock, Sallin, PK, Johnson, Sato, and Charlebois came home 3 laps down today. Franco, 4 laps down. All 40 drivers finished the race. So there's that. No cautions. No lead changes. Wow. That's cool. So anyways, we'll take a look at your standings. We have 8 races to go. We'll run the numbers and break a few more people's hearts. Let's see. There we are. So, Patrick Smith, still your points leader. I think his gap to Monaco is only increased by about 3 points or whatever. But yeah, both Monaco and Bracken had good finishes today. Monaco very close to Smith points-wise, but Bracken, as you can see, is about 2 wins behind Patrick Smith there. So yeah, it's going to be a big ask for basically everybody in the top 10 to challenge Patrick Smith with 8 races to go. Something's got to give. Patrick Smith needs to have a bad performance or 2. He's already had some recently, but yeah, that's what we're looking at here. Samaya 4th, the GOAT jumping into 5th, past Davis and Voiles. Wolf up into 8th. Trickle 9th, Harvey 10th, and Lucas Evans drops out of the top 10 after his abysmal performance today. Trickle, I think, falling some positions as well. Spurley 12th, Özkan 13th, Wells 14th, Thomas 15th, and a number 15. You'll love to see it. Morgan, Reggie Fogelman, Burnett, Tyke, and PK round out your top 20. Hearts are going to break once we get into the bottom 20 here. Shadowall ahead of Cropley and Langestein. Flobo, Pepper, Zane, Jana Fogelman, Austin, Hicks, Sallin, Allen, Jenkins, Charlebois, Lego, Abrahamian, Sato, White, Whitlock, Johnson, and Franco. I think I'm going to give something away here because I need to go ahead and check on where a certain driver finished today. Okay, we got that. Gerald Pepper started 38th and finished 13th. How about that? But, bad news for you guys. We've run the numbers, and unfortunately, there are only 23 cars left in the running. Eliminated after this race. Flobo, Gerald Pepper. Yeah, shatter the glasses in the cupboards at home because, ouch, it's time to hit the bar. It's not yet St. Patrick's Day, but it's time to hit the bar. Zane, Jana Fogelman, Austin, Hicks, and Sallin now out of the running, as are everybody in the bottom 10. So, Langestein hangs on by about 19 points, but I think his championship hopes are probably over as well. It's looking like it's going to be curtains for Cropley and Shadowall here, but they're still mathematically in it. But unfortunately, as mentioned, Flobo, Pepper, Zane, Jana Fogelman, Austin Hicks, Sallin, Allen, Jenkins, Charlebois, Lego, Abrahamian, Sato, White, Whitlock, Johnson, and Franco are out of contention. Bummer. To be fair, if you're not in the top 10, you're not even within a chance of having a chance because Patrick Smith and Eric Monaco just running away with it right now. How about that? 9 wins for the GOAT, another 100 laps led to add to his tally. Wow. Next race, one that we hope the GOAT will have a really terrible time at, the EA Sports 500 at Talladega Superspeedway in a papyrus racing game. Whatever. It's been Hanafuda. It's been a time and a half in honor. And I'll see you in the next video.